State Senator Will Espero has announced his candidacy for the 1st congressional seat currently held by Congresswoman Colleen Hanabusa. She'll be vacating the seat to run for U.S. Senate, and Will Espero joins us now this morning to talk about his plans for the state. Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
So it's still early in the campaign for next year, but voters are still getting to know you. And so what do you see as the big differences between you and your one opponent right now, Councilman Stanley Chang?
One of the major differences is experience. I have 30 years of work experience in the state of Hawaii. 8 years of that is in the private sector and non-profit sector, and 22 years of government service. That includes 8 years with Mayor Frank Fossey and 14 years currently in the state legislature. So I believe that my work experience will be significant and benefit the state, as well as my community service. I've been actively involved in the community for 25 years and have been able to have many life experiences and situations that I think are very important.
You've been a very familiar Democratic face at the state legislature, and you first ran unsuccessfully for the legislature as a Republican. What made you decide to make that change and become a Democrat?
Well, interestingly enough, back in the early 80s, the Republican Party approached me, and I really wasn't too involved in politics, but because of my military upbringing, my father served 21 years in the United States Navy, I felt that Republicans were more pro-military, and that was really the factor on why I did that. However, I did leave the party prior to ever getting elected to office, and then I was able to get into office through an appointment with Governor Ben Cayetano in late 1999.
In terms of national issues, what would be your #1 issue that you would want to work on in Congress?
Actually, there are 3 issues I'm currently working on today that I could transfer over to the federal level. One has to do with prison issues and inmates, especially in the area of rehabilitation and reentry. I believe we have to provide more resources to help and assist those that have committed crimes so that the recidivism rate is low, or we can eliminate it for that matter. I've also been working on aerospace initiatives and trying to have Hawaii become a center of aerospace and aviation, and this is very possible. For instance, we're looking at space tourism, maybe future commercial satellite launches, small launches, and even a space exploration research park on the Big Island. And finally, I've been working on preservation issues. I've been supportive of the Japanese Cultural Center of Hawaii and the National Park Service, where they're looking to turn the Honouliuli internment camp in Kunia into a National Park Service educational center and memorial. And there are many others, of course, but those are the top 3 right now.
Sure, and I'm sure we'd love to talk more about the issues a little bit later, and I know that we'll be seeing you as well as the campaign really starts to ramp up. But Will Espero, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you for having me.
And to see this interview again, you can head to the top video section of our website, kitv.com.